put it in safe and it went down.
Well,
Gyro,
I don't know. Oh, so, you know when you put the new servos in?
video?
And if they weren't in the right orientation,
Yeah.
the gyro gets confused.
That's probably what it was, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, yeah. Taking off. I know it doesn't sound like I have a lot of sympathy for what just took place, but hey, I did take his plane home and repair it for him. So, here we go. He nosed it in, and it's not smashed. The wing piece broke, and the rudder, and that's it. That's amazing. Welcome back to the shop. So here is, I already told you what happened to the plane as far as why it crashed. Now we're going to fix it. So one of the things we have here is basically this busted, the carbon fiber wing spar. They don't have these in stock. We're going to repair it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do that. Got a rudder piece. Got to glue that back on. The wing, and this is why it's so important to collect every little piece that you find out in the field when you're picking up your plane. We're going to glue that back together. Really, that's it. You know, the amazing thing, well, let's see though. We have a bad prop adapter, need a new one of those. This got a little smashed up, but not too bad. You know, surprising at how these are coming off. All in all, it's amazingly surprising. I don't know if that's the right term, but pretty doggone tough airplane. Piled in, and yet there's just a little bit of creasing in some parts. Very tough plane. It just, you know, goes way up in my book as far as just a great beginner type of tail dragger that you can just beat the heck out of. But first, let's get started on fixing this thing. All right, first thing I'm going to do is address the rudder. So all that needs to get put in place. Got to take that screw off of there, get that shoved in place, and make sure that the hinge works. I'm going to use good old faithful here, foam tack. So let me get that fixed up and glued up, and then I'll show you. Well, I need to undo a screw, and I'll be right back. What I'm going to do is just put a bead of foam tack right along where the hinge was. I will say that these arrows, at least on this Bigfoot, the hinges, the foam hinges are, I don't want to say weak, but not strong, not overly durable. Did a hinge replacement on my Bigfoot when I ripped one of the elevators right off. All right, so that's in place. I'm gonna pull it apart, let the foam tack kind of tack up a little bit better, make sure I'm right where I need to be on the hinge, make sure everything's centered and perfect. And this one, you know, definitely want to keep an eye on to make sure I got it right. Because you don't get multiple chances. Well, I guess you could rip it back off. And I know a lot of people will say, hey, why don't we use mechanical hinges? And we can. But in this case, I'm going to just put it back with this. My camera's acting up on me. I just wanted to point out that had to put that back in place and just basically push it over, put some foam tack in there. And then the other is this piece here, which I just picked it up at that piece. Silly. Anyway, foam tack and on both pieces and put it in place and we're good. So just has to set up, but yeah, not a it's not rocket surgery, you know, fixing these planes. It's pretty simple. All right, this is busted, cracked. Can't get a new one. This is 10 millimeters, 8 millimeter inside. I've got a carbon fiber spar. That is, I don't know how long. It's long enough. That's where it's going to go. I'm going to put it in there. We're going to mix up some epoxy, actually, and I'm going to get that epoxy in that hole in this area as best I can from both ends. I'm going to try at least, and then shove this in place. And I've marked how far that needs to go in with this, so it needs to go right to there, and that will make sure that this is in an even spot. So, going to mix up some epoxy, get it shoved in there, and fix that spar. So, in order to get that down in there, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use a couple things here. I'm going to try to do this best I can on camera. Get some. I don't want to get it all over the sides if I can help it, so which is going to be tricky. So I'm going to get it in there like so. Okay. I got a little down there. I'm going to take this, feed it in, and shove it in till we get to there. All right, I'm going to wipe off the end, and I'm thinking that we've got, you know what I might do? Just put a little, it's probably not going to help anything. Okay. All right, clean up the ends and let's see what we can do. Okay, let's catch up. So, the fix to the carbon fiber spar, it's rock solid. That light coat of epoxy I put over, it just kind of maybe keeps the splinters down. I've already tested it, did a little quick fit, fits in the wing fine. So the carbon fiber spar, recovered. Wing. So this is the wing that really just had one of these plastic hard points shift over pretty hard. So I moved that back, and now it's back where it's supposed to be. This one was the one that it busted off. And so as you can see, glued on, it's sturdy, we're good to go. I don't think there's a lot of stress on that. It's just kind of the way it got pulled out. I'm not too worried about structure. If we take a look at everything that's going on with the plane, so first off, you know, we got the hinge sorted out, and here, let me pop that off. So the hinge is back in place. It's looking good. I'm pretty happy with the way that foam tech can repair these hinges, and I feel good about that. I pull on it even, it's not separating. I think we're good. Inside's fine. Unfortunately, the rudder servo extension popped off, which isn't very good either. The other problem is, well, and we have that bent prop adapter, which I have a spare, we can fix that. Well, she's back together. Not perfect. Yeah, probably could have used some steam and expanded that out a little bit. This is the part that cracked off right here. It doesn't look too bad. It'll do. It'll do for this plane here, for the pilot, my buddy Matt. Yeah, he's beating the heck out of this thing and learning how to just really push things, and he's having some fun with it. So it doesn't need to be perfect and pretty. Had to change out the prop adapter, put on a prop. Biggest pain was the whole reason why he got into this situation. The rudder servo died. He replaced the rudder servo. For some weird reason, and I haven't witnessed this, where that particular brand of servo is reversed. Or they put reverse servos in these at Arrows. I don't know what was the situation, but the fact of the matter was the servo was reversed. The reason why that's a problem is because this has the Arrows Vector gyro. And that particular gyro is set specifically for the Bigfoot with the servos that they were supplied. So if you go and change the servos and have to reverse them, the gyro, you can't reteach the gyro. So that was the bummer. So I had to make some changes. One of, for the elevator, I just flipped the servo arm down. That's horrible. I shouldn't have to do that, but that's what I had to do. The other thing I did on the rudder, because the rudder, he replaced that servo reversers. These little things here, you plug them in, and now the servo goes the opposite direction. Could have done that on the other one, and I might still do that as far as for the elevator so it doesn't look so stupid. Anyway, it's back up and running, good to go. Lesson learned by Matt, and I hope he doesn't have any more problems, and I hope you learned something along the way here. Have a great day.